I've been selling online for over a decade and I've learned a ton of things over that period. And things are changing rapidly and changing all the time. Right now, we're seeing everyone pushing AI this and AI that, and I certainly use it in my own business, but I think it's a tool we can't rely on. One of the biggest things I noticed though is that free communities now and giving away free lead magnets, like sign up for my newsletter, I'll give you this free guide on the 10 steps of how to do X, Y, and Z. Those strategies don't work anymore. And running a Facebook group for over a decade for Canadian Amazon sellers, it started out as a great community. It was a place that people could engage. I started the community to get support from other Canadian Amazon sellers because when I began selling myself as a Canadian, there were no groups out there. So I needed other people to bounce ideas off and share my successes and failures. And for a while, it worked really well. But what I noticed was over the last few years, the engagement dropped and the quality of people joining that group declined. Facebook basically became a major distraction for people, myself included. You would go into Facebook planning on checking out the groups that you're a part of, or communities as they changed them and called them a few years ago. But you end up being bombarded with Reels. It's basically an extension of Instagram. And what I learned is in this attention deficit economy where everything's microsecond distractions, you need to be able to catch people's attention quickly and get them to see the value in your product or service. So my take now is that if you're a business owner and you're trying to make money, don't try and start a free Facebook community or a free school community. I recently shuttered my Facebook community and we at the peak got up to 10,000 people in that group. But what I found was people were just asking lazy questions. New people would join and they would ask a very simple question that ChatGPT could have answered them or they could have Googled in 30 seconds. And that isn't the kind of community that makes it engaging or fun for people to be a part of, myself included. And quite frankly, it was draining. Why should I be giving answers to people who have never spent a penny on the trading products I offer? And what I found was those who found my products useful and actually paid for my trading or bought my ebook and read it got a very specific solution to a specific problem that they were facing. And therein lies the aha moment. And it took me a little while to figure this one out as well, but people will gladly pay you for a low-ticket offer that solves a very specific problem because you've curated information, it's up to date, ideally you've lived it yourself and you've tested it so you know it works. They take your course, they pay their $30 or whatever it is, and they get a solution. And they don't have to wade through endless discussions and pointless comments and questions in a Facebook group or a free school community. And so my take on that is don't start a free community. Don't do a lead magnet, as they used to call it, to get people to sign up for your newsletter. That used to work, but it doesn't anymore. You're much better off providing a very specific solution to a problem for somebody and creating a low value, not low value, but low dollar amount training that solves that problem, and then over deliver on the value that you give them in that. So they buy your course or your book or whatever it is or PDF, and they come away with a solution to the problem and think, wow, that was the best 30 bucks I ever spent. The great part about that is you capture that customer's email and their information, and chances are if they valued the solution to the problem they were having and they paid you money for that and got value from that, you can resell to that same customer over and over and over again. And in today's attention economy, you can run paid ads relatively inexpensively, even if you're new to it. And with all the algorithm changes now, it used to be you had to narrow down the exact customer and their demographics and all the specifics about them. Now you're better off simply doing a broad campaign and letting the algorithm, the AI, figure out who your best buyers are. The way it knows that is it tracks the customer who clicks on your reel, who goes to your landing page, and if they place an order, the pixel tracks that as a conversion, and the algorithm goes, aha, this is the kind of customer that buys these products. Let's send more of them this way. And it's a very good way to grow a business, and you're not wasting your time as an entrepreneur constantly moderating a group and dealing with people's vents and frustrations, and also frustrating your audience because they're tired of listening to people's basic questions and finding there's just no value in those groups. So it took me a while to figure that out. I used to get a lot of value out of hosting a free Facebook community, but I finally shuttered the group. It was kind of a big move because, like I said, there was at that time over 8,400 people in the group, but engagement had dropped off, and I used to dread going in there myself. And I thought, really, what's the value in this? What are your thoughts? Comment below and let me know.